Kualitonali no Yolikniwan. Hello, good day to everyone. Sending all of my relatives, all of our relatives today, good energy. We are so happy to have you and to be able to share this space and this time with you. Um, Welcome, Shimo Panolti, Nano Toka Samuel, Nimeshika Iwan Ninawa, Na Nehuali, Los Angeles. California, Iwan, El Paso, Texas, Iwan, Zacatecas, Mexico, Ninemi Ashkan, Imnisha, Ska, Dakota, Makoche, St. Paul, Minnesota. And just introducing myself to you, I'm just really eager to be able to share this space with you all. My name is Sam Torres. I'm Mashika and Nawa. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, and most of my relatives currently live there, but most of my relatives actually are originally from Zacatecas, Mexico. And I serve NABS as the Deputy Chief Executive Officer as well as the Senior Oral History Project Director. And we're just really wanting to share a little bit of some context with you all about our upcoming trip to Bismarck, North Dakota for the Oral History Project. And what we'd like to do is go ahead and just let everyone know that have joined us today that we're recording this meeting. We're going to share this after the meeting has concluded. And we will start with a prayer. We'll do some introductions and then offer some context around the project and then receive some questions and respond to some of those questions. So before we do that, I'd like to introduce our staff. We are that's attending this meeting right now. We will have our Chief Executive Officer, Deb Parker, here to share some words and introduction, and then we'll go ahead and invite the Oral History Project core team to introduce themselves. So I'm handing this over to Deb. Tlasokamati.
Oh, hi, Chikasiam, Dr. Sam Torres, Haslahel, good afternoon. Sitsayaltsa Sitsta Twelcha Tuflelap. My traditional name is Sitsayaltsa. I come from the Tulalip people, the Sahobsh people on the Coast Salish waters, and I have the honor of serving as the Chief Executive Officer for the National Native American Boarding School Healing Coalition. I'm just glad to be a part of this oral history project and to witness the good work that our NABS family is conducting throughout the country. And I just really want to welcome those who are listening today to really be a part of our project and come and learn some of the gifts that we will be bringing and to also bring your gift. And so I just wanted to open that space in a good way and just thank our oral history team for giving all of their love and support to the relatives across the nation. As a matter of fact, I received a text message from an elder this morning, and she said that our team is so loving and kind and very honoring. And so as CEO, that's our goal, is to make sure we show up in a good way, in a beautiful manner that honors our people. So just wanted to say thank you, and I'll turn it back over to our fabulous team. I hope you all are doing well.
I'd like to invite Charlie to introduce themselves. Tlasokamati.
Miigwech Sam, Ani Bojo, and Dinoe Maganadok. Hello, all my relatives. Nimida Magizikwe Indigenous. Mako Dedeman Namamian, Bawating, Minuan, Nopaming, and Donjaba. My English name is Charlie Brissett. My spirit name is Dancing Eagle Woman. I am Bear Clan from my mother's side, and I am from Sault Ste. Marie, or the place of the rapids, and Hessel, Michigan, also known as Deep in the Woods. I am an enrolled member of the Sault Ste. Marie tribe of Chippewa Indians from Michigan, and I serve as the oral history team lead and an oral historian for this project. And so with that, I'm going to hand it over to Lacey.
Uju ani makode kwe indigenous. My name is Lacey Kennart. I am a Bear-Hearted woman and come from the Bear Clan, and am from Escanaba, Michigan. I am NABS's programs coordinator and am helping with this project with the logistics and making sure things run really smoothly while we're there in North Dakota. I will pass it along to Denise.
Bujunin, Wabishkabenes, Sawana Quantique, Dejenakas, Ashijak Hedodame, Mikinakwa and Dunchiba. My tribal name is Thundercloud Woman. I am the Crane Clan, and I live and work on the Turtle Mountain Reservation. I did work as a retired professor. I came out of retirement to work as one of the oral historians for this program. I have been involved in boarding school issues and interviewing boarding school survivors for over a decade. So happy to be here, Mingwich. And I'll turn it to Moki.
Hello, relatives. Almedakuyapi, Chante Washte Nape Chuzapelo, Moki Beriko Emachiapelo, Oglala Lakota Hemacha. Hello, it's good to send out our voice to all the relatives who watch this. My name is Moki Beriko. I'm Oglala Lakota from Heinrich Indian Reservation, South Dakota. I'm one of the oral historians on the team. And yeah, that's about it. I guess I'll just pass on to the next person, whoever that might be.
Can we invite Deidre to introduce themselves? Lasagomati.
Dakiapi, Chantewashte Nape Chizapi, Ishkian Wachian Kapikiteye. Hello, relatives. My name is Deidre Whiteman. I am Spirit Lake Dakota, Hidatsa. I'm also a descendant of the Turtle Mountain Band of Ojibwe and Meskwaki Nations. And I will be in Bismarck with all of you, and I am looking forward to seeing you all. Hidamiaye.
I'd like to invite Annabelle to introduce themselves.
Anin Bonjour, Annabelle Indigenous, Ajijak and Donim, Ishkongeng and Donjaba. Hello everyone, my name is Annabelle Young. I am a Saginaw Chippewa descendant, but I grew up here in Brooklyn, New York, where I'm currently located. So still learning and reconnecting. And I am the digital content manager for NABS, and I sit on the oral history core team to support in any and all communications needs that are necessary. Miigwech, Gigawabamin.
I'd like to invite Iku to introduce themselves, who's been so helpful in doing some outreach throughout this time. Lasagomati.
Okay, Nistinitaniku Ikutsimiski Maki Beck. Hi, my name is Ikutsimiski Maki Beck. I go by Iku. I'm Blackfeet and Little Shell Chippewa Cree, and I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator at NABS. Miigwech.
Thank you, Lasagomati, Iku, and everyone. I don't think I'm forgetting anyone. Is there anyone else that I think that's our core team for the Bismarck trip. I'd like to go ahead and invite Dr. Denise Lashmadier, Kukum Denise, to be able to share some good words with us, a prayer as we open today's conversation. So thank you, Denise, for being here and for sharing your good energy with us. Tlasokamati. Tlasokamati, Denise, for opening us up with a prayer. So what we'll do now is I'd like to offer just a very brief overview of the Oral History Project as a 2-year partnership with the Department of the Interior. NABS, we are conducting video interviews in the pursuit of being able to develop a permanent national oral history collection that will be memorialized and preserved for the following generations to be able to access, to be able to see and learn from. And one of the central goals of this project is to be able to honor and respect the voices directly of relatives that experienced firsthand Indian boarding schools and its relationship to the federal Indian boarding school policy. So this unprecedented effort is connected to Secretary Holland's Federal Indian Boarding School initiative that was launched in June of 2021. And so connected to that, we are doing this work in the way that NABS knows how. This is a very grounded, Indigenous-led work that we are seeking to not just create this national permanent oral history collection, but to honor and respect our relatives that experienced boarding schools. And so our process is shaped around that to make sure that folks are received with care, that we are co-creating a space that we know that is deserving, so deeply deserving of our relatives to come in, to be able to have a space that is not just safe, but is an environment that we believe has the possibility for opening doorways towards healing, where we have the opportunity to be able to communicate with our relatives, to hold ceremony with our relatives, to share songs, medicines, and just conversations throughout the week and the time that we will be in person in Bismarck. So what I'd like to do now is just hand this off to Charlie, who will help talk a little bit about our the logistics, what to expect of the week, and who will walk through a bit about the process for our Bismarck visit. So thank you, Charlie. Tlaso kamati.
Yeah, miigwech, Sam. So first I'll share the schedule, the oral history project schedule for 2024. So as you can see here, we started our project in Oklahoma City this year in March. Then we went to Anchorage, Alaska, where we partnered with the Alaska Native Heritage Center and the Chickaloon Indian Village Council to host our site visit. And then from there, we were in NAB's backyard in Minneapolis, Minnesota in May. And then next, so in a couple of weeks, less than 2 weeks, we'll be in Bismarck. And from there, we're going to head to Montana in July. Then we'll be in New York, and then Michigan, Utah, and New Mexico. And that's going to round out our year for 2024. So this is talking a little bit about the interview process. First, our relatives, our boarding school survivors, sign up through a form they can find at boardingschoolhealing.org/oral history project. And there's a form on there. We can also include a link to that website in the chat box. By phone, which we can also include, and or by email at oralhistoryproject@nabshc.org. So once people sign up to be interviewed, one of us oral historians, reach out to the relative to begin building that relationship, since we will be working with them solely from before the interview, during the interview, and after the interview. So we spend time before the interview, before the site visit, getting to know our relatives. We review the eligibility process. We set up an interview time, we discuss the consent process, and we answer any questions that they may have. The day of their interview, they are welcomed upon arrival by NAB staff and ground staff, support staff that we have there on site. We go over what the day will look like, and then we discuss the consent form. We have them sign the consent form, and then we go to portrait photography. So they get professional portraits done that they are able to keep afterwards. From there, we go to the interview room, where it is just the oral historian, the survivor or relative, and their support person, if they bring one, which they are welcome to, which you are welcome to bring, and the videographer. So it's just the three in the interview room. It's not open to the public. After 30 to 90 minutes, depending on how long the interview goes, from there we go to the quiet room to decompress, or to sit with either our native spiritual leader or a licensed professional counselor. And so during that time, we just spend time debriefing. talking. They may offer some mindfulness exercises, some breathing exercises, some grounding exercises. That time is really just dedicated to seeing what our relative needs at that time and space, and making sure that they are feeling okay, reconnecting and re-entering, the rest of the world. And so that's a little bit about our interview process. Here is a photo from Oklahoma City where our relative Unchi Sandy Whitehawk was in the quiet room. So she would sit down with elders after their interview to, like I said, decompress and just to make sure that everybody is feeling okay. And after the interview is done and the time spent in the quiet room is complete, we bring our relatives back to the welcome room where we do a gift exchange. So we offer a cash honorarium of $100 that we give them once they're back into the welcome room. We also offer a travel stipend. That travel stipend varies depending on how far people have traveled, but we offer that travel stipend as well. We also mail out care packages after the site visit. So we send those in the postal mail. So our folks typically receive them 1 to 2 weeks after the site visit. And those care packages include things like teas, balms, salves, coloring books, coloring pencils, things crafted and created by Native artisans. And from there, I'm going to hand it over to Lacey to talk about the agenda and some logistics.
Make much, Charlie. So we like to start out the week with opening with the community in a opening ceremony and a community luncheon. So we like to start it out in a good way together and honoring the land that we're on, the space that we're in, and just coming together in a loving way with community, loved ones, and survivors to kind of ease any tension that there may be or answer any questions, just get to know each other more, share some good food, and even maybe do some crafts that are there on site. So our first opening ceremony will be on Monday, June 24th at 1 p.m. And it kind of runs about 2 hours, but it'll be at the United Tribes Technical College Skills Center building. And then the same for the closing ceremony. So we like to wrap things up and close in a good way as well, and end it with a meal and see a slideshow of pictures throughout the week, hear from survivors that participated through the week, and answer any questions as well. And a lot of times our closing ceremony is much more attended than our opening because survivors end up bringing their family members, community members hear about it. The word gets around a lot more, and it ends up just being a hangout and getting to know each other some more and visiting. And that'll be in the same area at the United Tribes Technical College Skills Center. So throughout the whole week, we'll be in the same area. It'll be at that Skills Center within UTTC. And when you walk into the Skills Center, that's where everything will be. So it's simple where everybody can find us. Parking should be pretty easy, and we'll be there throughout the whole week for anybody to come and visit. The interviews are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and possibly Friday morning as an option too. And people are welcome to come and hang out with us throughout the week. They can't go into the interview rooms like Charlie explained, but we as the core OHP team will be there throughout the week to be available to the community as well. We ask that we don't have a RSVP or anything, you can just show up. Everybody's welcome to attend the opening and closing ceremonies. Charlie or Sam?
So this is just a photo of our opening ceremony in Oklahoma City that we had our relative Gordon Yellowman from Oklahoma share with us to open our process in a good way, as Lacey had said. So we like to start the week by opening in ceremony and then closing the week in ceremony. Here is a photo of the portrait photography. This is our relative, Roberta Charles, who traveled to Alaska from Washington to make sure that her story was shared. And this is our NAB staff person, Meg, helping her get ready for her portraits. And then, as Lacey was also mentioning, our relatives like to sit and visit, and they're more than welcome to sit and visit with us during the week in the welcome room. We will have a craft station set up, so they can make necklaces, bracelets, things like that, and we'll have people to assist with that if they'd like. And so that wraps up our virtual gathering. Now we'll open it up for any questions that people may have. I'd like to share one question, and Sam or Lacey, if you don't mind answering. One question that we have is, let me see here. What do survivors get for participating? Lacey, would you mind answering that?
Sure. So we want to make sure this is a reciprocal relationship where we're not just asking for your story and not giving anything in return. So we do offer $100 cash honorarium on site at the end of your interview. There'll be a gift card for transportation assistance. It'll either be $50 or $100 depending on how far that you're traveling. And then afterwards, a couple weeks later, you'll receive a really nice care package. It's a box about this big, full of native made goodies and a letter from the NABS team and things like that. So those are the three things. And then you also earn or gain a family, because once you're part of this crew and you're in with us, that you're part of the NABS family. So that's part of it. And then there's also follow-up afterwards for 6 months that your oral historian will reach out to you on a time schedule so that you don't feel alone, or that you have somebody that you can reach out to afterwards as well.
Thank you, Lacey. The other question is, where will the stories be housed? Sam, would you mind answering that?
I'm happy to respond to that, of course. While we have been in frequent conversation with the granting agency, the Department of the Interior, about this question in specific, nothing to this point has been definitively confirmed, but we are pushing for ensuring that regardless of what institution is preserving these really important video documents, that they are preserved and stored in perpetuity. So we are asking all of the important questions to make sure that no agency, administration, or any outside influence can allow for these materials to be moved or disappear. It's important for us to make sure that we are working towards the preservation of all of these materials so that they can be accessed in the future by future generations. And so information like that will be released as it becomes available. But the entire team here at NABS, as well as our collaborators at the Interior Department and the National Endowment for Humanities, have been working towards coming up with a good plan to make sure that these materials are properly stored so that they can be viewed by relatives all across Indian country and the United States as a whole. So those materials will and the details undergirding their storage will come out when they become available. But we are pushing for making sure that they are preserved, stored, and kept in honor.
You go ahead, Sam.
And I also want to share that at the end of the project, or as soon as it's available, that each survivor gets a copy of their interview as well, where NABS will mail either a flash drive or a DVD or whatever preferred way of storing that media, that they get that from us and that they're able to share it with whomever they want to share it with. But when that is available is unknown yet, but it's as soon as it is available, that's when we're able to share it with them.
Right, miigwech. Do we have any other questions from any other participants? You're welcome to use the chat box or unmute yourself if we have any other questions. Right. Well, seeing none, I guess that wraps up our virtual gathering today. I want to say Chimugwech, thank you from the bottom of my heart for everybody attending today. And thank you for listening and watching this virtual gathering to share space with you in Bismarck in a couple of weeks. So Chimugwech, and we will talk to you soon.